Hello students, I thought I will upload some biology also important, so whoever feels required, like this is just the question papers, what are there, according to that I've ticked it in the notes so that I will announce the numbers which are those questions and read out. So those are important ones which I have gone through the question paper, which will make you easy instead of you going through the question papers, and this is easy for you to understand. Okay, the first question is what these are doing biology, they are giving for 2 marks 3 marks answers, they are giving two questions together, so you need to study that way. Other than that, drawing, study the drawing, you can get score full marks. Study physics, chemistry and biology, all the three subjects, study the drawings, because that in that you can straight away score marks and which can pull your marks higher. Okay, so the questions, I'll read out the questions. Write equations of photosynthesis, then write the event occurs during photosynthesis. So these two questions have come together in June 2022 and March 2022. Then, which are the factors essential for photosynthesis? That's important. Other than that, observe the given figure. Which figure indicates the massive amount of exchange of gases? Why? Name the parts X and Y. What is the function of X? So this is the one. Last one. Okay, then next question, explain the process of exchange of gases that takes place through stomata in plants. So that is important. Next, explain the digestive function of food materials in stomach and small intestine. That is very important. Next, the stomach and small intestine, that difference is very important. Next is, what are the differences between aerobatic and anaerobic respiration? Aerobic and anaerobic respiration. So that difference is important. Next one, how food materials are transported in higher plants? Explain. Next, explain the stages of double circulation of the blood in humans. Okay, next question, how does transportation of water take place over the same height? Okay, next is which I told you that time. Next one is, how is the structure of human heart supportive in transporting oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood? Explain. Okay, then what is the difference between xylem and phloem? And then why is it necessary to separate oxygenated and deoxygenated blood in mammals and birds? Okay, in mammals and birds here. Okay, what is double circulation of blood in human beings? Okay, and a give reason ventricles are thick walled. That also is there. So blood are separate in the hearts of mammals. That is also there. Write the functions of limbs. LYMPH, limb. Okay, next one. Schematic representation of blood circulation in mammals is given below. So this one, see this. This is also important. Okay, next, in humans, how is the digested food absorbed by the blood? Mention the functions of blood in transporting necessary material. Next, explain the role of xylem and phloem tissues in transportation. That's over. Explain the formation of urine. Okay, next, what are the methods used by plants to get rid of excretory products? In what form the waste products are stored in old xylems of plants? Okay, then the heart and digestive excretory system is important, and chloroplast is important, naming them, and then labeling of neuron is important. Okay, so next question is, a person immediately starts running soon after observing a snake. So about that explanation, the reflex actions. Okay, next is, how muscle cells respond to a nerve impulse? One function of auxins and abscisic acid. Okay, next, involuntary action and reflex action. Human brain, study the naming of parts and all, it's very important. These are only questions. Then this cerebellum, pons, okay, medulla, all those explanation you need to learn. Then positive phototrophism and negative, all that negative trophism, hydrotrophism, all those with explanation, with examples, please learn. Okay. Then next is a list of functions of the plant hormones, all those which are the auxins, all this, that can, they can give a word, any one of the words like auxin or something, where you need to explain, which is important. As the growth advances in a climbing plant, that appears as the plant in moving towards a particular direction. How? Okay, explain the necessity of chemical communication in animals. This is what I have taken from the question papers and dictating you all. Okay, next is the number of organs decrease by reaching higher trophic level of food chain in the ecosystem. Why? Give an example for a food chain of grassland economic system. If there is an increase in the number of organisms in the second trophic level, how does the affect on the food chain? Then next, what is trophic level? Next, primary consumers in any food chain is always herbivorous. What is biological magnification? So I'm just reading the questions, whatever is there. Next is, what needs of the local people are fulfilled by the forest? Next, briefly explain the formation of ozone in the atmosphere. Next, nowadays chlorofluorocarbon free refrigerators are being manufactured. Why? Next, explain how ozone affects our and economic system. This is very important. Okay. Then coal petroleum producers should be used judiciously. Why? Next, mention any two effects of non-biodegradable substances on the environment. Next, how can you help in reducing the problem of waste disposal? Give any two methods. Then next, mention the true importance of recycling in controlling environmental pollution. Okay, the next lesson under hereditary and evolution. This is important. The plant bearing round yellow colored seed are self-pollinated. That is very important. It comes for 3 marks. And the one more tall, the pea plant producing red flowers. That is yellow and this is red. So both these questions, like this, these are the questions. These are very important for 3 marks. 3 marks. Okay, it comes for 3 marks. Both are comes. The plant bearing a round yellow colored, and it goes on. So just check where is the question. And then tall pea plant producing red flowers. Okay, those are very important. Then sex of the child is determined by the father. How? So that is there. Next, mention the tools used for tracing the evolutionary relationship between the organisms. Okay, next one, how do we reproduce? Next is difference between sexual reproduction, asexual reproduction. Next, name types of sexual, asexual that takes place in planarian and rhizopus. Next, fragmentation, defragmentation, budding, that is all important under this one, which is that breaks up into small pieces, which is that called explain the different modes of asexual reproduction with an example. Different modes of, that is there. Okay, how is the process of pollination different from fertilization? That is important. Then the flower diagram, very important, learn. Then parts of flower in the plants that develops into fruit is dash. What is pollination? What are the changes that occur in the flower after pollination? That is very important. Draw the diagram of longitudinal section of flower and label the stigma. So there are 2 types of diagrams, both you should learn. Differentiate between self-pollination and cross-pollination, which is very important. Difference between pollination and fertilization is important. Explain the process of seed formation. Okay, next, reaching to sexual maturation is an essential event with respect to mammals like humans. Substantiate the statement. Okay, next question, explain the significant functions of each structure in human male reproductive system. Important. How does uterus prepare to receive the fertilized egg in woman? What happens if egg does not fertilize? Explain. How does menstruation occur? What is female foeticide? Then, how father is responsible to determine the sex of the child in humans? Explain. Okay, so these are the important questions which I read, which I have picked from the question papers. So I dictated to you all so that it becomes easy for you all at least to pass the exams. Thank you, children. All the best.